Okay, so the Facebook thing should start working pretty soon. Okay. All right. I don't know if anybody has the Keep Carmel Mountain Ranch Beautiful on their Facebook. If you could maybe pop over there and check and see if it looks like it's streaming. I think it should be, but I'm not sure.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah. Larry.
CMR's website.
Okay, good. Good. That's where we want to be. Awesome.
Are you going to be able to replay this, Eric? On CMR's website. YouTube?
Okay, good. Good. That's where we want to be. Awesome. Hang on a second, Larry. I'm getting a bad echo here. Hang on. I think I need to close my Facebook tab. Or I need to.
Can you hear it okay?
Okay, hopefully that's fixed. Larry, yeah, I mean, this will be recorded and should be able to be replayed.
So are you going to post it on YouTube?
I'm gonna give it to whoever wants it, and they can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, if you can send it to me, then
sure.
I'll post it tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I sent it to Troy and everyone. Well, I sent it to Troy last month. Okay. So now now that we're streaming on Facebook, I've got to record. Okay, so we're recording now, and I'm going to turn over. I got to find Silva here again. Where did she go? Here she is. I'm going to turn over some hosting responsibilities to Silva. More. Okay.
Eric, on the Facebook, your face is frozen. Let me see if I can make you. Oh no, you're going. Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That Facebook thing. I've got my fingers crossed that it's going to work. But once we kick this thing off, we're just going to have to let that do what it does. Okay, Silva, I'm making you a host. And now I'm going to start sharing my screen. Oh boy. No. There's too many. Okay, you cannot minimize while you're recording the meeting. Interesting. Okay, I got to stop recording for a second. Jeez, it's too many things going on here. Oh no, not that. Okay. Slides. Okay. Present. Share this screen. Okay, welcome everyone to the May meeting of the Carmel Mountain Ranch Sabre Springs Community Council. Thank you all for coming. One of our board members, Silva Salehi, is going to be monitoring the participant list and the chat box for me. So if anybody needs to get in on the public comment, when I get to that part of the meeting, you can raise a virtual hand. I already have 2 people slated for that. And so theoretically, we should be able to see you if you use your virtual hand in Zoom. And barring that, you can say something in the chat box and Silva should see that. So call to order, that's what I just did. All right, so we're good there. And just wanted to quickly go over again, like I did last month, some meeting etiquette. The participants are going to be muted until it's their turn to speak. I'm going to ask for any non-agenda public comment. You can raise your hand, or yeah, I just went over all that. You can raise your hand or type a message in the chat, and I'll be creating a list, and we'll get to you one at a time. And if you can, please limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Harold is pooling some time with 1 or 2 other people tonight. He has a slightly longer message to share, but it's important, so we'll give him a couple of people's time to do that. And then we're shooting for a meeting of 90 minutes or less. So we're gonna do our best to keep you to 3 minutes, just so we can keep everything on time. And same procedure for comment on agenda items. When the presenters completed their portion, I'll ask for raised hands. And then if we have any disruption from outside, because this is a public link, we're gonna end the meeting, and hopefully that didn't happen last time, so we should be good there. And I'm gonna go first to, well, let me skip. I always do this. I don't know why they put, well, let's just do this. We'll do approval of agenda and minutes first. So I need a motion from a board member to approve the agenda from tonight and the minutes from April's meeting. So just raise your virtual hand. Silva will unmute you, and then we'll go from there.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda for tonight, as well as the minutes from the last meeting.
Thank you, John Schroeder. Do we have a second?
I second that.
Okay, perfect. All those in favor, let's just do our, let's do a, let's see how, I can't see, I don't even know how I can, well, we'll do a, we practiced this last night. I'm not sure how we missed this.
It's through the chat. It's through the chat.
Yeah, chat. Thank you. So yeah, in the chat, just go ahead and say that you yes, no, or abstain on the motion to approve agenda and minutes. I'm approving, voting yes. Chat. Okay. Yes, I'm approving. So we have a yes from me, yes from Esther, yes from Dan Thompson, yes from John Chu, yes from Kurt Carlson, yes from Rich Kregge, yes from Michelle Mullen, yes from John Schroeder, and I think I don't see any more. I don't see any more members in the chat here.
Majid is with me, and he.
Oh, yeah, Silva and Majid, both yes. Okay, so we'll that's good. We'll move on to introduction of board members. So I'll just go down the roster here, and Silva, if you could unmute people, that'd be great.
I'm gonna unmute all and see what happens. Okay.
Okay. I'll introduce myself. I'm Eric Edelman. I'm a business owner here in Carmel Mountain Ranch. Esther, are you there?
Just the board members are muted.
Okay. Esther,
Esther is having problem getting on.
is she?
Ah.
I'll introduce myself. I'm Eric Edelman. I'm a business owner. Oh boy, somebody's got the Facebook feed going in the background. Esther, at least we know it's still working.
No, you're best off keeping everybody on mute and having each person unmute themselves.
I think so. All right, so we'll come back. I don't hear Esther, so Ryan Yamasaki, can you introduce yourself?
Ryan Yamasaki, homeowner.
Okay, I didn't know if it was clearer.
Okay, Dan Thompson, are you out there?
I'm out here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Dan Thompson, business representative also.
Thank you. John Chu.
No.
I see. Silva, can you unmute John Chu, please?
I'm looking.
There he goes.
Okay. John is unmuted.
Okay, John, please introduce yourself. Maybe that his audio is garbled, I think.
Facebook on in the background, that's the problem.
Oh. John, just type your stuff there in the chat. We see you. We know you're here. So, and then Rich.
Hi, Rich Krejci, a homeowner.
Thank you. John Schroeder.
John Schroeder, homeowner in Carmel Mountain Ranch.
Thank you. Mark Clark, are you here?
I am Mark Clark, homeowner, Carmel Mountain Ranch.
Thank you, Mark. Michelle Mullen.
Yep, Michelle Mullen, homeowner.
Awesome. Joseph Valencia.
Yes, Joe Valencia, homeowner.
Perfect. Thank you. Kurt Carlson.
Hey everybody, Kurt Carlson, homeowner.
Awesome. Majid Mosher, Irian, Moshiri. Gotcha. I was struggling.
Homeowner.
Thank you. Silva Salehi.
Silva Salehi, I'm a business owner.
Great. Thank you. Okay, Silva, if you could go ahead and then just mute everybody again, that'd be great.
Police car.
Can you just, there should be a button that says mute all. Good. So I think that's all 13 of us. Obviously we'll go back and check that later, but we got to, yeah, Esther's here. I think we got to everybody, all 13 of us. So thanks, guys. Good. Trying to move the chat box out of the way here. Okay, so next we're going to move to non-agenda public comment, and I'm going to stop sharing this slide because I'm going to call on Harold Klotz. So Silva, if you could unmute Harold, I'm going to share a different screen that has the text of what he's going to say in case his audio is garbled, because he had a little audio problem last time, although I think he's okay this time, but I'll still go ahead and share that, that screen.
I can't find him.
Harold, H-A-R-O-L-D. I think it might say H-K.
HK. No. HK, okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, unmute him, please.
Hello, this is Harold.
Okay, Harold, we hear you. I hear you anyway, and then I have your text on the screen, so I'll scroll up as you get to the bottom of the page here.
Okay, I'm only seeing right now. I'm still seeing your meeting etiquette slide.
Interesting.
Hi, Eric.
Yes.
Yes, I see the text.
Okay, Harold. Others
Okay.
Others are seeing the text, so I think we're okay. Go ahead and
all right.
Go ahead and read.
Hello, my name is Harold Klotz, and I'm a resident of Carmel Mountain Ranch. I'd like to bring to your attention the impact of the new San Diego Department of Development Services change to a 100% digital submittal policy for new projects. It's a significant reduction in transparency and timely notification for public advisory groups addressing new developments in San Diego. Pushed forward by the public health need to limit physical interactions, the city has converted the Trails at CMR project to this new process. As a result, we are no longer able to view documents and plans in person downtown. And although all documents submitted by the developer are now digital, we are now only provided with the updated design guidelines and complete plan set in PDF form. I don't know who selected these to be released versus other documents. The submittal letter and attached responses to cycle review issues have been very helpful to our understanding but are no longer provided. Now, everything beyond the 2 documents requires a Public Records Act request. This adds about a 17-day delay, which limits our ability to view and respond to the changes in the documents. One of the 2 documents we have is the design guidelines for the trails at CMR. It is a combination of marketing descriptions / illustrations and requirements the project must or shall adhere to. There are also a lot of guidelines that the developer should, or if possible, or is encouraged to follow. There is a lot of useful information about the intentions of the developer and their obligations. You will also find that what you thought was an obligation may only be an aspiration or a suggestion. So in the design guidelines, the descriptive sections in chapters 1 and 2 may not sound quite like your understanding of the physical characteristics of CMR. Even with the opening up of all the cart paths, you may find that the descriptions of accessibility, walkability, and access to transit do not match your experience. I think that in part it may be because of the references to the site, as if it were all the planned development as a single compact unit sitting on a parcel of flat land. The CMR we know is an up and down place with close to 200 feet vertical rise from Rancho Carmel Drive to the clubhouse. For most homeowners, a walk or a bike to the grocery store or the transit center involves multiple steep inclines to get there and back, and that trip will definitely not be as the crow flies, because our community was laid out to support the design of the golf course and to get as many homes as possible adjacent to the course property. In the design guideline on page 14, you may be surprised by the way guidelines 13, 15, and 16 describe our coming buffer zones. Number 13, new buildings shall be set back from existing homes with a 50-foot setback buffer zone. That's okay. Number 15 says circulation elements such as drive aisles, driveways, parking areas, paths, and trails may encroach into the buffer area for a maximum of 35% of the gross buffer lot area of each unit. That's the sum total of all the buffer areas around the unit, and taken a percentage of that could be applied to a single limited area. And number 16, a minimum 15 landscaped area, trees, shrubs, and ground cover should be provided at the exterior perimeter of the 50-foot buffer along existing residents that abut to the new development. The net result is that it is possible that in some places there may be no substantial planting to buffer the existing homeowner from the 48-foot building just 50 feet away. Section 1D describes how an SCR will be used for the final plan approval. Prior to or during submittal for building permits, future implementing development projects will be submitted for a substantial conformance review in accordance with the City of San Diego Development Permit Review Process 1. At that time, implementing development projects will be reviewed against these design guidelines, the master planned development permit and permit conditions, the vesting tentative maps, known as the complete plan set to us, and the environmental impact report associated with the property for conformance with the master plan development permit. A substantial conformance review process 1 means that after the entire project has been voted on by Community Council, Planning Commission, and the City Council, and approved by the City Council, then the developer will submit the final building plans, including what could be the only set for actual buildings, roads, parking areas, and all other infrastructures. And the DSD Planning Department staff will certify that these plans conform to all the obligations the developer or builder has based on those listed documents. They may require minor changes, the plans, but public notification is done only as a courtesy, and the Community Council's response is not required. So you can see how important it is that we all focus on understanding the content and the implications of a complete plan set. Unless we are able to stop the use of the SCR process for building and site design approval, the content, excuse me a second here, the content in approval, the content of these two documents will determine the future of our community. It's equally important that we write to the planning department, and I think the two most important people would be Jeffrey Peterson about development issues and Michael Prince about the overall change in the community. He's charged with the community plan update. The Planning Commission, write to the Planning Commission also and to the City Council so that they know not only that we oppose many aspects of this project, but why we oppose them. If we have ideas for changes that would improve this project, then we should be letting them know what those ideas are. Thank you for your time. That's
Thank
it,
you.
Eric.
Thank you, Harold. Appreciate that. And I have the text of what Harold just shared with us, and can provide that to anybody who wants it. And then also the emails for the folks that Harold referred to. We have those, and the design guidelines have been shared in the past as well. But if anybody needs to get a copy of those, we can get that to you. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Cindy Tour. Silva, if you could find Cindy and unmute her, that'd be great.
I think I'm ready to go. Yes.
Yes, there you are.
Okay,
Thank you,
perfect.
Cindy.
So,
Go
hi,
ahead.
everyone.
Hi.
I'm Cindy Tour. Just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on what CMR Outreach has been doing. We're still collecting food items if you wanted to get them to a distribution center, but the majority of them were collected yesterday. And I thought it was pretty successful. We dropped off the food at Trinity and Poway. They'll make sure it goes to the families in need, and they gather the food with the huge shopping carts that Home Depot would use, and we filled 4. So I'm pretty happy with that. I just also wanted to let you know that if any neighbors still needed help with getting deliveries, walking a dog, even if you know a neighbor that maybe just needs somebody to reach out once in a while, check on them, see how they're doing, that would be appreciated. And other than that, we are going to keep expanding. We're looking at more ways to keep our community safe. And we're actually starting to work with Officer Julie Dratt, and we want to open up and start a neighborhood crime watch program. I think Eric can attest that our crime has started to go up, and a lot of times what we'll see is maybe petty crime, but unfortunately it does escalate. So yeah, we're going to start looking at that. So that's where we are this month. If you would like to find out more information or get involved, again, email us at cmroutreach@gmail.com. And for anybody needing assistance, or if you know somebody who might need any of the services I talked about, our number is 858-521-8872. Great, thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. And then I see somebody has asked for the names and emails of those 2 people mentioned in Harold's document. And Katie, I have those. I can't actually access them right now because I've got the Zoom thing recording on my screen. It won't let me minimize it. So I'm going to put my email here. I think I can put my email in the chat box here. gmail.com. So anybody that wants, oh, that was a prize. Sorry, that didn't go to everybody. If anybody wants any of the information, you can always email me. And if you're not already on my email list, I'll put you on it. Okay, that's my email in the chat box to everyone. Okay, so do we have any other non-agenda public comments from folks? Just you can raise your virtual hand. I'll scroll through my screen here and see if I see any physically raised hands. Silva, do you see any hands? I don't see any
I
hands.
see Rick's hand.
Okay, so he's got a non-agenda public comment. Then go ahead and unmute him, and
I'm
we'll
unmuted.
see.
He's unmuted.
Yeah, are you going to leave this this screen on?
The one that's CMRS,
no.
the slide that's currently here, I will advance as soon as we
Okay.
get past this.
Just what Harold said was just right on the mark. I thought that was excellent review for us all, because my question flows from what he's talking about. Because in the things that I've seen so far, we don't know what the roads are doing or where they're going. Because in my little section of the southeast end of Eastbourne, I'm understanding that the roads for those two buildings that are going to be in Fairway 17 are going to empty into our cul-de-sac, which is just going to make an incredible mess for traffic coming up and down what's normally a very quiet road. And that when the elementary school is in session, there are 2 times a day when people are turning around in this section of Eastbourne, and it's going to be an incredible traffic problem. So I would love to know where you view what the roads are, or is what he's saying that it's not able to be viewed yet?
Let's what
I don't need an answer now, but if there's a document or something you can point us to be able to see that stuff, it'd be great. The second part of my question would be, it would be excellent if there was a list of people and their emails and their functions. I know they pop up differently from different areas, but in your newsletter, who are the key people we can write? And in that newsletter, I know we've had some people come up with a list of things that we can talk about that we think are excellent points for countering this development. I know we can't individually think of them all, but that would help us, I think, in writing the elected officials and letting them know our concerns. I sure would love to have a list of them, because I will write every chance I get.
Yeah, we do have that list, and we've shared it in the past and can share it again. What was your name again, sir?
It's Rick Ludwig.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah,
No problem. I think it should be in every newsletter. Last
Yeah.
day, hey, write these guys, and here's the list of salient points.
Gotcha.
And we can all take them and modify them to our own words and fire things off. Thank you very much for letting me share.
Thank you, Rick. Okay, any other non-agenda public comment? Silva, if you see any hands up, just let me know.
I don't see any hands.
Okay, good. So we'll not that, well, we'll go ahead and move along here. I've just got to, I should have printed the agenda for myself, but I didn't think of that. So I got to find the agenda on my phone real quick so I can call on these folks in the right order. Okay, so we're going to move on to any neighborhood police report. Officer Julie Dratt, is she here? I don't.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh,
can you hear me okay?
We sure can. Thank you. Hi, good to see you, Julie.
How are y'all doing?
Great, thank you.
Just a couple of things to share. I would say, as it was mentioned, that some crime is up. Obviously, given some people, more people home, so the vehicle break-ins are up. I know that some vehicle theft has gone up. It was mentioned to me that it was more like your older Fords are, I would say there probably been 6 recently with that involved, within our, not your area, but within our division as well. Just a couple of things that were noted would be to, keep in mind that with that being said, just home security, if you guys have video cameras, whether you have cameras that are hardwired, or you can.
I think we're losing your audio, Julie.
Can you still hear me okay?
I can now. You dropped out for a
Okay.
minute. Oh, there you
Sorry
yeah.
about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, so as far as that, maybe some security cameras up to help, because then that might help, either deter the criminals, or so we can see them to, try to go for criminal charges against them. Also, I've heard that there's been chatter on Nextdoor, but again, just please remember, if there's suspicious activity in your neighborhood, please do share with the other neighbors, but please keep in mind to call the non-emergency number, and please report it that way if you see suspicious activity, whether it be people that are hanging out in the neighborhood, maybe in a vehicle, down the cul-de-sac, something just out of the ordinary, and from a safe distance, if you can notate, license plates, things like that. Other than that, are there any questions for me right now?
If you have a question for Julie, please raise your virtual hand, and Silva should be.
Claudia has her hand up. Let me unmute Claudia.
Okay, sure.
And Troy does too.
Okay, good.
My question, I'm sorry, I just found where to raise the hand under the participant list. So mine was a question that was going to be in the other event, not with Julie.
Oh, okay, Claudia.
I posted it in the chat.
We're gonna come back around to New Urban West again. So if
Okay.
it's a New Urban West question, go ahead and raise your hand at that point in the agenda.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so no questions? All right, well, thank you, folks, and stay healthy and safe.
Troy has a question.
Oh, Troy has a question.
Oh, okay, Troy, go ahead.
Hi, Julie. I just wanted you to be aware that we've seen quite a bit of suspicious activity. We believe there might be some people living in their cars at the former park and ride across from the park. I know that the police are patrolling that fairly frequently, but we're often seeing in the evening, past 11 o'clock cars and people that appear to be living in the cars there.
Okay, and you're referring to the park and ride across on Rancho Carmel, right?
Right, on Provencal
Okay.
there.
Okay, I will share that with the patrol officer so that they can check that out. And definitely, if you're seeing things like that, please, because again, where they're at, please call into the non-emergency number. So that way, at that time, the officers, hopefully within a decent amount of time, depending on what radio calls we have, can respond in, close to the time that you guys called.
Yeah,
I will share that then.
Emergency number, but I just want to bring it to your attention.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Any other questions?
Cindy Tour has a question.
Okay.
I'm trying.
There we go. I think I'm good to go now.
Yes, we hear you.
Good. Julie, I got the information you sent me on the Crime Watch program. I know we've been having a hard time touching base, and since I got you right now in front of me, is there any advice you want to give me that would be short and brief, or at least maybe a day or time we can connect this week?
To be honest with you, email me, and I will not be able to get back to you until next week.
Okay. Yeah, you're breaking up a bit, but I got the gist of next week.
Yes.
Okay, I won't take up any more time in the meeting. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Take care, folks.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Stay safe.
Thank you. Okay, who's next? Do we have CMR Fire? I wasn't expecting them, so I don't know that they're here. Any hands, Silva?
I don't see any hands. And what's the name of CMR Fire? I see.
Yeah, I don't know who it would be at this point. We haven't seen them in a while, so I'm not sure who they would send.
They can unmute themselves as well.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think they're here. Anybody from Senator Brian Jones' office? I don't think so. But I know that Rick Hauptfield with Brian Mainshine's office is here.
Yeah, Eric, hey, thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
You guys can hear me.
Yes.
Hey, listen, I only want to take a couple of your minutes to give you some quick updates. Hopefully you guys are all doing okay. And our district office has been handling a lot, you guys can imagine, of unemployment insurance claims through EDD, including all over the district. It's been, well, it's plaguing everybody in the state. So we've been handling a lot of that. So if you have anybody in your family, your friends, your neighbors that need any assistance whatsoever, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. We're a resource. Have them reach out to me directly. I'm the primary point of contact for all EDD and unemployment insurance claims in our office. Happy to help in any way I can. Millions of people are seeking it right now. It's not a streamlined process, but we can definitely provide help. The second thing we're dealing with is DMV. They just opened up a couple of offices. We have more information. They're opening up virtual offices. Millions of people are seeking information, which can be very, very helpful, especially as registrations are about to expire, licenses are about to expire, there's extensions, there's all kinds of forgiveness of fees that I can help everybody. Again, contact me directly.
Rick, somebody's talking in the background. Can everybody make sure that they're muted, please?
I think somebody had the Facebook feed on in the background. There was like a 15-second delay. I think we're good now, Rick. You can keep going.
Eric, if I need to repeat anything whatsoever, I'm happy to do that, but I don't want to take too much of your time. The important thing is I can be contacted. EDD, unemployment insurance, big things we're dealing with. DMV, big things we're dealing with. And of course, the health and safety and well-being of the community here in District 77. So any questions for me?
Questions for Rick?
Yeah.
Joe Powell would like to know what the best way to contact you is, Rick.
I will put my email address in there.
Okay, good. And I want to thank you. Your office helped me with an issue with the California Department of Real Estate a couple of weeks ago. So that was, I believe, Rob.
Rob. It was Rob. Yeah.
Yep. He helped me out with that.
Okay, I'm just typing my email address in there because we're working remotely. Most state offices are. I can't be reached by phone, but I can be reached by email 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day. All right, Eric, anything else for me?
I don't have anything. Oh, there it is. Okay. Joe, can you see that? I think it went to everybody. So I think.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you very much, Eric, and thank you very much, Rick.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe. And Joe, I'm going to come back around to your idea here when we get to New Urban West.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Thank you, Rick. And then, so we're up to Supervisor Gaspar's office, Anthony George. Is Anthony here? And thank you, Jim, for texting me a copy of the agenda. I've got it here too.
I don't see Anthony.
Okay, no Anthony George. How about Mark Schaefer from Councilman Kersey's office?
Yes, I'm here.
Ah, awesome. Okay, go ahead, Mark.
Okay, first on city issues. This month is the budget, and council members looking carefully at what cuts that are going to be made in the coming fiscal year. Obviously, with COVID and the economy more or less shut down, there's significant decrease in revenue for the city. So looking at potential library and rec center hours being reduced. And then on the opening up side, the mayor has kind of been encouraging to open up the process for businesses in our city. DSD is looking at permitting that might be allowing restaurants to open up with safe social distancing and sanitation measures. So that's kind of what's going on at the citywide level. In CMR, at the last meeting, there was an issue with the code enforcement regarding the golf course property. We've continue to get messages and calls about the maintenance issues. I went out today, kind of look at what things are going on. I called and emailed the code enforcement supervisor, getting an update on those issues, including the CUP for the clubhouse and what's permitted, what's not, and a lot of the other, I mean, it's in bad shape. There was also a question last time I attended the CMR HOA meeting, and regarding the New Urban West maintenance assessment district, or different regarding the grounds in their latest submission. Parks and Rec is looking into it. They actually had questions about that too. I'm following up with the Park and Rec to see how that's administered and how that may or may not affect the current property owners in the area. So that's the update for now. Any questions?
There's one from Kurt Carlson that I'll read.
Yeah.
He says, did you ever find out if the mobile trailer on site at the clubhouse are still operating as a business? We see a lot of activity every day outside, as he lives across the street.
Yes, you might have saw my Ford Explorer parked across this afternoon, but I took a couple photos, and then I have that's part of my follow-up with code enforcement, getting answers on what's permitted at the clubhouse site.
Thank you. Anyone else, please raise your virtual hand or unmute yourself and jump in if you need to. Any other questions for Mark Schaefer?
I had a question. Mark, I don't know if this applies to your department, but I saw something that the clubhouse, they're selling food for pickup. Are they allowed to do that?
Yes, I did get that answered from code enforcement, that is in their CUP, that is allowed. Functioning as a restaurant facility falls within the clubhouse's permit.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Any other questions for Mark? Are you going to be hanging around, Mark?
Yes, I may leave early by 7:30 because Penny-Scuto's planning group is having a big meeting tonight, a follow-up from last week. So I will have to sneak out around then.
Eric, there are a couple of questions. Jerry and Kurt asked some questions on the chat.
Yeah, and I think those are both. I think Troy Daum is going to give us an update on the code enforcement investigation as well. And I see, yeah, we've got tall weeds, and I can address that as well because I talked to code enforcement myself. And then we're not sure about what's going on with that cell tower, but that has come up. And then individuals allowed to email code enforcement. Yeah, I've got a guy at code enforcement that I've been emailing with, and I would be happy to provide his email. And then
what's the cell phone tower issue?
I'm sorry?
What is the cell phone tower?
I don't know. Kurt is asking if the clubhouse is disassembling the cell tower, and I don't think we know the answer to that at this point.
That's the black tarp on the golf course side?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of, I emailed an Elizabeth Brennan, who is, I think it's Joe Zamillo.
Yeah, that's the guy
Yeah, his supervisor, because that's what I was directed to do.
Okay. If you have that email, go ahead and pop it into the chat there for folks.
I will, yeah, I will get that to you. I'm not sure about the chat thing yet on Zoom that I can get it done. I'm using my phone right now, and I think I can't do chat through the phone.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah, just email me.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay, does the clubhouse have a health department permit? Yes, the answer is yes, they do have a part of their CUP allows them to do food there. Okay, I think we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next item here, which would be San Diego Planning Department, Tony Kempton. Is Tony here with us? He did ask me if we were having a meeting, and he did get the link. Silva, any sign of Tony?
No, I don't see Tony.
Okay. Ever helpful. Congressman Scott Peters, representative. We usually don't see them, so I don't think they're here. And folks, now I need to advance the slide. Okay, so I had put Jonathan Frankel on the agenda, and that was actually an oversight on my part because it was on the agenda from last month, and I was doing too much cutting and pasting. Jonathan is not here tonight, and he had told me ahead of time that he wasn't going to be here. So it's not that I put him on the agenda and he skipped the meeting. It's that he told me he wasn't going to be here, and I put him on the agenda anyway. So with that, since he isn't here, I think and then also, folks, Barbara Bry was supposed to be here, but I got a call from her campaign manager just before we started saying that she was not going to be able to attend. Another meeting is running long, and she would love to be here and talk to us, but she will not be. So we may have to hear from her at a future meeting, and we may, as individuals, want to reach out to her and ask her what her position on community planning groups and development at Carmel Mountain Ranch would be. But we do, so that leaves us with a little time here if there are other questions or comments about the trails at CMR, the New Urban West development. And I don't want to get into a super long discussion about it because there's no one here to answer questions. But if somebody had asked earlier, Claudia had asked, and it was addressed, Mark Schaefer addressed it a little bit here this at the HOA meeting last night. They mentioned that New Urban West is trying to move trail park maintenance to our maintenance assessment district, and Claudia is asking Alan if you can explain this. So Alan, are you okay to talk about that? Would you mind sharing that with us briefly? There he is.
Am I on?
You're on.
Okay. New Urban West has gone back and forth on an issue. I'm not saying they've been deceptive about it. They just have gone back and forth on it. The issue is who pays for the maintenance of the land that they're not proposing to put housing on. They're proposing some open spaces, some down by Chikorita Creek and other places throughout. The last iteration in February, I believe, they said there would be at no expense to the current master HOA or to the current residents because all the maintenance was going to be handled by a new master HOA, sub-associations that would be created, and apartment owners who would own apartments that would be created. That's changed back to what they had been saying previously, to ask the city to add to our current maintenance assessment district so that we would be paying for that maintenance as part of the maintenance assessment district assessment each homeowner gets on their property tax bill. So what does that mean? Let's say, for example, the area in what is hole number 4 down by Chikorita Creek, down by the freeway, who pays for that maintenance? Previously, what they had said was that the master HOA, I think, would pay for that. Now they say they are asking the city to have a maintenance assessment district pay for it, meaning you, as part of your property tax assessment. So in the complete set of plans, the PDF file on sheet number 2, they have all the units or holes, and they have who's going to do maintenance or pay for maintenance on those. So they want to have maintenance assessment districts on 3, 4, 7, 12, 13, 15, and 16, either all or parts of those units. So that has two issues. Number one, is the city going to agree to it and have us pay for it, the existing residents? And number two, what I asked Mark Schaefer last night and what he's looking into, that is an increase in our assessment. Looks to me like it's an increase in something that the law would call a tax. And under Proposition 218 in California, if that were so, that would require a 2/3 vote of the people who are affected by it. And so that's what I asked Mark Schaefer. So that's the issue regarding the maintenance assessment districts. You already, if you're a homeowner, you're already paying for an existing maintenance assessment district, which handles things like the median strip on the Ted Williams Parkway and some other things. If you look on your property tax bill, you'll see a charge for the maintenance assessment district. So what they want to do is add some of that land to it that they're not building on, so we pay for the maintenance in the future. Thank you.
So
Alan, hold on, Alan, can you repeat the holes that you said that this would affect so I could put it in the minutes, please?
Yeah, either all or part of holes. Well, it's now called units. The units and holes don't line up exactly, but it's close. 3, 4, 7, 12, 13, 15, 16.
Thank you.
thank you, Alan. Does anyone else have comments related to New Urban West that or anything that's, yes?
This is Mark Schaefer.
Okay.
Alan, to go further, follow up, the initial reaction, I still have to get more explanation, is the Parks and Rec, as opposed to a MAD, they are looking at a community facilities district. I thought figure out what that entails, as it may affect the community there, but at least the initial reaction from Parks and Rec was it shouldn't be a MAD, but a community facilities district.
Well, that's interesting. You know, Parks and Rec, it does administer the maintenance assessment districts. 2 years ago, I asked the city finance people about a community facility district, and they said they would oppose it. But maybe that was for broader purposes than these narrow purposes than are now being described.
And that may be because it is narrow. But like I said, I'm going to follow up on what that entails to affect the current property owners there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, so let's jump ahead to Troy.
No, Claudia has a question.
Oh, sorry, Claudia has a question. Whoops, okay.
This is a document that we received from the City of San Diego Complete Communities on May the 5th. I don't know if the rest of you, surely somebody else saw it. Complete Communities, Housing Solutions and Mobility Choices. And they say that they were submitting on May 14th, the Planning Department will present Complete Communities, Housing Solutions, Mobility Issues to the Planning Commission. And they wanted people to respond here about how that might impact us. And I don't know if where that has gone, but obviously that's tomorrow that they are going to supposedly submit it. And I don't know how that will impact us.
Yeah, I am not sure either. Mark, Mark Schaefer, do you have any idea about that?
Hold on. Not right off top, but let me look into that and try to get back to you before the end of the night.
Okay, thank you. And Claudia, I think you and I had discussed this over email, and I've seen these sorts of things come across from the city before, and I don't know that any responses that we give them are, well, I don't know how seriously they're gonna take anything that we have to say in opposition to this particular project. I've seen those requests for input in the past, and I don't know how many people get those, but in any event, Mark will hopefully get back to us here in a few minutes on that. Okay, so if there's nothing else, I'm going to move ahead to Troy with CMR United. Troy Daum with CMR United. Troy, are you there?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Eric.
Take it away, Troy.
Yeah. So last month we reported about the code enforcement issues, and I just want to report back that that case has been closed. It is our expectation that that the maintenance on the weeds will be addressed sometime in the next month or two. Was referred to at the end of the rainy season. So they will be required to cut the weeds down. That was a issue that came up from the code enforcement. There was also some issues related to fence repair. Apparently there are a number of holes that have become open, and they're going to have to address those issues as well. We had also asked some questions about the tree removal, and I have nothing to report on that, but we're still, I understand, looking at that. So those are some things that are at this point, the city's closed their investigation. The other thing I wanted to say is that I thought Rick's suggestion that we make available city leaders and people to write to and their information, and we will put that all on our website, which is carmelmountainranch.org. carmelmountainranch.org. I think most people know of that site, and we're also going to work with Harold to make sure that the information he provided is available to folks, to create some content for letters that they might like to write to the various officials relative to your concerns about the buffers. I think the buffers are of very, very high importance, because one of the things is they talk about a certain percentage of the land being maintained, and it's my understanding that they count the buffers as a part of that land that's being maintained. But if it's a driveway or a parking lot and they don't put landscaping in that, you could have cars parking with their lights shining into your bedroom, and I don't think that that's really what we're looking for. So it is important that we follow up with that. We will spearhead that and make that available, the information available, and also some content that not necessarily a form letter, but at least general information that you can use to articulate your own opinion on that. So those are the things that I have at the moment. We will also put out our newsletter, which we tend to do shortly after the CMR Community Council Planning Group meeting.
Thank you. Thank you, Troy. And thank you to everybody who's done so much work on all of this. And then it looks like we've got a couple of questions. Got a couple of questions here. I've got
Rick
a
has
message.
a question.
I'm sorry?
Rick had a question.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and unmute him?
I'm unmuted, Eric. Yeah, just a comment. Those weeds are just huge. Once the weeds get cut down, in about 2 weeks, you got a fire hazard.
Yeah, it's my understanding that it's not just cutting the weeds, removing the debris as well, which is
okay. Good. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Troy.
Okay, I'm scrolling through the chat here. Thanks. Weeds, okay, weeds cut. The trees are removed. Yes, I talked to code enforcement about the tree removal and they didn't find any violation. Is that what your understanding was, Troy?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure if the city is the right enforcer. And so we're going to continue to look into that.
I also I had Anthony George check with the county on the tree removal, and his answer coming back was that it was not their issue. Or they
Yeah,
couldn't.
I'm not, really at liberty to say whether it's the county or the state, but there are some issues clearly. You can remove a tree. The question is, can you sell the tree? I was led to believe in comments that were made that they were perhaps selling these trees, and there may be some issues with that. Again, we're looking into all of this stuff, and if people have questions that they'd like us to look into, we can. Ultimately, like many things with cities, states, it takes a while to get answers.
Right. Okay, thank you. And then I see in the chat that Mark Schaefer with Councilman Kersey's office has put a link to this San Diego Complete Communities Mobility Choices website. So if folks are interested in responding to that, you have it in the chat there and you can grab that link. And yes, Silva thanks you for all you're doing for CMR, Troy. We all thank you for sure. Here are the links. The second one is for the sir. Okay, yeah, Mark gave us the links. Okay, and then Alan answered Danielle Clayson's question. Complete set of plans, PDF file sheet 2 lists the units for which MADs are proposed, and that complete set of plans is I think I had sent out links to that. They're on the library's Facebook page as well. And if anybody needs guidance for how to access those, let me know. And then Kurt says they've started mowing the weeds around the clubhouse in nearby. Yeah, the clubhouse is the first place that they clean up. All right. Thank you very much, Troy. It's great to have you here. Great to see you. And we will move ahead. I think we'll move ahead. Oh yeah, Barbara Bry's not here, so we'll skip over her unless she jumped in. She was supposed to be here at 7:20, which would have been almost perfect timing, but unfortunately I don't see her. So we'll just go ahead and skip that. And if she for some reason jumps in, we'll come back. Rick Smith, are you here? I don't have Rick. I don't think Rick is here, and I don't. The subcommittee hasn't met, and largely because New Urban West hasn't had anything that they want to present to us, and okay. Mark Schaefer's leaving to go to the Penasquitos meeting, and gives his contact information. So no golf course subcommittee report at this time. So we will move on to, wait, no, I think I skipped ahead too much. Yes, the Park and Ride Subcommittee, Alante Development. Brian, I saw him in here. Brian, do you have anything you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, so I don't have any news directly from New Point, but I do see Tyler on the participant list. So Tyler, I don't know if it's possible for you to be unmuted if you have any news to share.
Hey, Brian, thank you. We are in our third review still, waiting for our environmental determination. So it's still in the third plan check phase.
Can you explain what that means for everybody?
Yeah, please.
Where'd you go?
Tyler.
Hello?
Oh yeah, there you are. Yeah, the question was, could you please elaborate and explain what that means? Third review and
third review of our plan. So it's still at all the disciplines in the City of San Diego DSD, and with their final reviews, then it goes to the environmental determination phase, which we are hoping to get to next week. That means the city is going to determine what environmental document will be assessed for this property.
Okay, and then so when we had talked a couple of days ago, what's the status of the documents coming out? Is that what we're waiting for with the third review?
That's correct. They will hopefully take only several weeks to produce an environmental document that will then be available for public review. And then our hope would be, 2 weeks from now, that everybody would have a chance to view that document.
Okay, and then the updated review cycle comments and all that sort of stuff that I'm supposed to get would come at that time, or am I expecting that earlier?
You should have gotten it already from Tony or somebody at the City of San Diego. If you have not, though, I could send them your way.
Yes, please. I haven't received anything at my home.
Okay, I will make sure to get you that. And then, as I mentioned, I'd get you the hard copies and the PDF link of the latest plan sets as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our goal would be to get that and then meet again with the subcommittee prior to then going to the full planning board for a vote.
Okay, Brian, anything else?
Yeah, we just like to have some documents to look at. The last set of plans we saw were from December, and then we got the cycle review notes, I think, from the second cycle, and we haven't seen anything since then. So we've been in the dark with this. So we definitely want to be able to review this before we have any kind of meeting about it.
Correct. So the third review that's in play is based off the second plan check cycle comments, Brian.
Right. So which plans are available? Which ones are we going to see in the PDF?
The ones that were submitted to the city for that third review.
Okay.
Because those are the latest and greatest sets of plans.
Okay. And those are available when?
I'm going to deliver 2 hard sets to Eric's home next week and provide him a digital link as well.
Okay. The digital,
which can then get disseminated to you at the subcommittee so we could schedule a meeting as well.
Yeah. Obviously, the digital is going to be in this circumstances.
Of course.
So one of the things that, we had the plans at the library for people to be able to review, and obviously the library is closed. We'd like to be able to have more people have a chance to see the plans. How can you make them available so that the rest of the public can take a peek?
I will have to check with the city again on what they're doing, because I know there were certain items of the Brown Act that have been changed from Governor Newsom. So let me check with Javier, our project manager, on how to best do that and still meet the city and state's requirements.
Okay. I know that New York West has the website with as much information as they could possibly share.
I understand.
Yeah. So that,
real quick, Tyler, can you just for the record state who you are and who you're representing?
Yeah, sure. This is Tyler Sandstrom, Vice President of New Point Communities. And we are the ones who are processing the plans for the former Park and Ride on Rancho Carmel Drive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, there's a question in the comment in the chat window there. So what kind of changes have been, that's a question for Tyler. So the last set of plans we saw in the review cycle notes that we saw were for 50 units, and I think there were 58 parking spots. One of the comments said that the parking spots had to be changed to not have compact spots anymore. So there was some addressing around there. There were some comments about it being fortress-like that needed to be addressed. So I'm assuming that there's a new set of plans that have addressed those, and that's what you'll be sharing with us. But can you kind of, just for the sake of the meeting, share with people what some of the updates are?
So it is still 58 parking spaces. Compact are allowed to be grandfathered in per the city code, and that has been verified by the city. So we are still at 58 parking spaces. The fortress look was an old comment from Tony Kempton's plan review, because he was looking at elevations that from a 2D perspective do not show the windows in their true dimensions. So we added 2 other renderings of the elevations so that he could see the windows straight on because they looked smaller than they actually were. So that has been addressed. But it is still 50 units and 58 parking spaces.
Well, I look forward to seeing the plans to see what we have. And comment, we can't just, can we unmute individuals?
Yes. Silva, who would you like unmuted, Brian?
Well, Kurt's got a question.
Yeah, I was going to, I'm trying to, well, I was trying to reclaim the.
He's unmuted. He's unmuted.
Okay, he's unmuted.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Barely.
Yeah, so my question for Tyler is just, I mean, where in the heck are these people going to park with just 58 parking stalls? You have 50 units. You're counting on the city's requirement that parking is not a priority for these units that are nearby, but in reality, near the transit center, but in reality, you're probably going to end up with 2 cars per unit. So this extra flow of cars could be another 50 cars somewhere. Where are they going to end up?
This isn't a transit priority area, as you had mentioned. We understand, and that's why we have 58 spaces. We have a mix of 2 and 1 bedroom units, and the market will ultimately dictate based off of the units that can be assigned per those spaces. And we will make sure that that is how they are allocated.
How many 2 you have, 2-unit models?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Out of the 50 units.
Can anybody hear him clearly?
Are you asking what is the split of the units?
Yes.
26 1-bedrooms, 24 2-bedrooms.
I don't see it. I don't see how it's going to work. The height of the units are ridiculous.
Yeah.
So what's the commentary on the, I think the units were 76 and a half feet tall, with including the stairwell, and 72 feet tall, if I recall, with the facade.
That's also differing on different elevations, Brian. As you know, Rancho Carmel Drive is lower than it is as it goes up to the east off Provençal Place.
And so what is that just basically, did they bring that up as something that needs to be addressed, or how's that being handled?
That still meets the zoning that is being proposed of RM 410.
I think 410 was a 70 foot high.
That's not accurate.
No. All right.
So just to reiterate, they are doing their final review so that we can get to an environmental determination, and that we hope to meet with the subcommittee late May, Brian, and I'll follow up with you directly because we want to give everybody the chance to have a view of the environmental document as well.
Okay.
So that is the update that I have.
Okay.
Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah. Thanks, Eric.
And
Thanks, Brian.
The comments are basically reiterating the same thing that we've all said, which is that the parking expectations are unrealistic for the number of units, as is everything else about the height, look, feel, fit. So we can just move on with the meeting.
Yeah. Okay. I'm I'm trying to reclaim, I have Silva, well, never mind. This is a technical issue that we don't need to get into at the moment. I'm, unfortunately, I'm not sure if the recording continued after I released the hosting to Silva. I'm hoping it's still recording, but
The live on Facebook probably has a recording of this.
okay, well, that's good too then. That's good. Okay, all right. So thank you, Brian. We appreciate your work on this, and you know, all of the comments that oh, I see, Silva. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by technical issues here. All of the comments that people are making regarding the parking, the height, the fit, and you know, like you said, these are all things that have been brought up from the beginning, and all things that will be brought up, you know, from us to the Planning Commission, and you know, we'll see what we see in the next round of plans. So that actually brings us to the end of the agenda, a little ahead of schedule because we missed Barbara Bry, and our next meeting is going to be on June 10th. It's June already. That's just kind of wild to me. It's like, I don't know, I feel like we've been in a sort of a time capsule here for a few months, but next meeting, June 10th, 6:30 p.m., most likely another Zoom meeting. I don't believe that restrictions will be relaxed enough at that point to allow 50 of us in a room together. So hopefully we'll get even better with the Zoom next time. And I think maybe our Zoom recording did take, and I'm going to go ahead and adjourn the meeting now. But I'm not going to sign off because I want to make sure I get this chat saved for the minutes. And if anybody wants to hang out and shoot the breeze for a few minutes, that's fine. Otherwise, I will bang the gavel and say we're adjourned until June 10th. Thank you all for coming. And, you know, it's always a pleasure to see everyone, and really appreciate all of the comments and all of the work that everyone's doing on behalf of Carmel Mountain Ranch. You can see the lovely photo behind me here. You know, this is a community that we all love, and you know, we want the best for it, and everybody definitely is working towards that end, and you know, hopefully it comes to some good. So thank you, everybody, and I'm not even sure I can. Oh, I'm going to stop the sharing. Yeah, can do that.
Thank you, Eric, for all you do.
Thanks, Jim.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you, man.
You too. I appreciate all you do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Right back at you. My buyer didn't want to come and see that house, though. I was just trying to get him over to your listing there, and they don't like the fact that we're getting new units coming in. So I'm sure that's going to sell fast, though.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Take good care. All
You
right.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Just trying to save the chat here.
Eric, I just saved the chat. So if you go, if you go on more on the chat box and push on more, it says save chat.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
So I said save chat. So say show in Finder, it says.
Okay, you know what? I just did that too. All right, so theoretically we have it. So thank you, Silva. I'm not sure what when we were practicing that last night, I was able to like right mouse click on you and reclaim host, which is what I was trying to do just to manage the recording there. But I guess, you know, whatever, it's all good. So I'm going to go ahead and click leave here, and that should end the meeting. And Facebook captured this if I didn't manage to. So everybody have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Eric. Eric, it shows stop video. So if you push on that, it says stop video. So I think the whole time video was going.
Okay. Well,
Bye, Eric.
Bye-bye. It got recorded somewhere. And if it didn't, then we've got Esther as backup on the minutes. So. Yes. Let's say thank you.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Well, so what is Urban's West plan? To intimidate us, basically?
I'm not sure that they're trying to intimidate us. I think they're
We're still live, by the way.
Oh
We're
yeah,
still live
yeah.
on Facebook.
Oh yeah. I can't. I don't think I don't think I have an answer to that question.
Okay, what I mean by this is basically that, you know, here you got a corporation thinks they walk on water, and they're gonna come into a community and try to jerk us around. You know, I'm retired Navy, you know, and I've seen a lot of the world, and I understand how these big corporations think how they can control people. But the bottom line, when you get down to one-on-one, they don't control anybody.
Yes. And you know, thank you for that comment. I mean, it's we're in a process with the city of San Diego, you know, as much as we are with New Urban West. So I mean, the objections to the project as they exist are addressed to our city government and other local officials. So I'm going to go ahead and since the meeting's adjourned, I'm going to go ahead and leave because I don't see any other way I can stop the Facebook feed, and we want to make sure that we preserve the meeting in that format. So I'm going to go ahead and leave. Have a nice night.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Just close it.